In the previous episode, Jiang Yang and the Immortal Palace were being attacked by people from the martial arts world, and the leader of this team was the Holy Maiden. At the same time, Gu Chang'e finally broke through. To refine this guy's chance, it indeed takes a lot of effort. But after multiple reductions, Jiang Yang's luck value was no longer enough to resist me using this card to steal luck. Gu Chang'e's eyes flickered. With purple evil energy, and the corner of his mouth curled into a cold smile, let me think about how to drain your last bit of luck, Suddenly, Gu Chang'e noticed something approaching. Gu Chang'e sighed, they're all here. Then let's fight together. The scene shifted to Yu Ming and her team, who were chasing Jiang Yang. Several elders were walking and talking. Immortal, ahead is the martial transformation heavenly pool, which is extremely dangerous, but Jiang Yang rushed in without hesitation. Another elder followed. Jiang Yang's methods are brilliant, even the immortal will holy master and all the elders couldn't stop him. Yu Ming thought to herself, it seems I really underestimated this reincarnated demon clan member. I never expected the demon clan to use the reincarnation fruit from their past life, and the entire immortal will holy land was wiped out by him. The scene shifted to Tian Tian and her grandmother, who was following Tian Tian and said, Tian Tian, slow down, it's very dangerous here. But the little girl said fearfully, Grandma, we have to find the master, I believe the master will never die. Suddenly, the two of them stopped, hearing Jiang Yang's voice, I've been wondering why I couldn't see Grandma and Tian Tian in the immortal will holy land, so it turns out Grandma brought Tian Tian here. Jiang Yang smirked as he looked at them with a mocking expression and said, are you here to find your master? Tian Tian, you need to learn to suppress your sadness, your master is already gone. But the grandmother and granddaughter were not only shocked by Jiang Yang's words, they also didn't understand why Jiang Yang appeared here. Jiang Yang stepped forward and continued, I heard your master was torn apart by 5 horses here, and there are many ferocious beasts around. They must have eaten him clean. Why do you have to suffer like this, even bringing Grandma into the Forbidden Land? As Jiang Yang spoke, he lowered his head and touched Tian Tian's face, saying, Tian Tian, it's dangerous here. There's a crazy woman outside who will eat you if she sees you. Hurry up and listen to me, let's leave together. Tian Tian shook off Jiang Yang's hand and shouted angrily, shut up, it's all your fault, if it weren't for you, Master wouldn't have come here, and this wouldn't have happened. It's all your fault, do you think I don't know? What are you pretending for? The reincarnated demon clan member could only smile awkwardly at this point, I didn't expect that. In your heart, our years of dependence on each other are nothing compared to the few days you spent with your master. Truly ridiculous, I miss you day and night, I'm still young, but my hair turned white. Before he could finish, suddenly Tian Tian's whole body was surrounded by a powerful aura, and she flew up, you're not my brother, you're an old monster who took over my brother's body. Give my Jiang Yang brother back to me. Grandma also tried to stop Tian Tian but was powerless. The reincarnated demon clan member saw this scene and knew that Tian Tian had lost control. So he said to the accompanying elder, find a way to stop her first, let me recover my strength. The girl obeyed and stepped forward to block Tian Tian, waiting for the reincarnated demon to return. Jiang Yang stepped on the ground and flew into the air, flying and arrogantly saying, as long as I refine the Nirvana Lotus, whether it's Tian Tian or that crazy woman outside, it won't be a problem anymore. He flew with a smug expression, but suddenly a sword flew from somewhere, knocking him down to the ground. He flew up cursing, damn it, open your dog eyes and look, dare to attack even your master. But the headless skeleton only said, kill. This surprised the reincarnated human, thinking, impossible, the ancient divine corpse doesn't accept me, nor obey my command. Suddenly, he realized something, what is this? According to my memory, I didn't set these things up. The scene shifts to Yu Mingkong's team at this time, with thunderbolts striking down from the sky. She still doesn't understand where this powerful aura is coming from. A few elders following her asked, could this momentum be from that Kuang Yang? What should we do, Immortal? She replied, wait and see, don't act rashly. Yu Mingkong thought to herself, this power is definitely not from Kuang Yang, but how could such a force exist in the heavenly god realm? This aura is even making my soul tremble. Wait, this aura feels familiar. Meanwhile, Tian Tian and Zhao Di are still battling. But they suddenly stopped and locked eyes. A huge arm appeared, striking straight towards Zhao Di. This scene left her shocked, and she quickly took out a bronze cauldron to block it. But the bronze cauldron was crushed into a flattened mess by a single punch. Facing such terrifying power, she could only rely on Kuang Yang, and she shouted, Kuang Yang, save me. At the same time, Kuang Yang was struggling to fend off the divine corpse. He looked at Zhao Di, puzzled, and said, why do those methods and that aura feel so familiar? Meanwhile, Zhao Di was still enduring the thunderous heavy punches. After a moment, Zhao Di's body was shattered into pieces. The scene shifts to Tian Tian and her grandmother, with her grandmother observing in shock, a single punch could kill an elder. From the immortal will Holy Land, as easily as killing an ant. This power, even an immortal might struggle to resist. But then her grandmother shouted loudly, seeing that Tian Tian still hadn't regained consciousness and was still trying to fight that huge fist. Her grandmother rushed to shout, Tian Tian, run. But Tian Tian didn't hear it at all, as she had lost control and mumbled, give me back my dignity, bring my brother back to me. Suddenly, with a snap of the fingers, Tian Tian was flung several kilometers away. Fortunately, her grandmother caught her. The massive arm retracted. Back to the reincarnated human, he was using the power of the immortal seal, trying to revive Zhao Di. After Zhao Di was revived, she said, thank you, I didn't expect you to have prepared a substitute. Kuang Yang replied, fortunately, your soul was strong enough, otherwise you would have turned to dust just now. But even so, the power of the reincarnation seal has been nearly exhausted, and I can't save you again. Then he took out a supreme seal and said, hold this supreme chi to protect the law here. Don't let anyone disturb me. After saying this, he entered the source of that powerful aura. Zhao Di obeyed the command and responded, yes, Lord Kuang Yang, please rest assured. After walking for a while, the reincarnated human ancestor felt something was wrong. This doesn't seem like the natural anomaly inside the Feathered Sky Pool's secret realm. Although it's strange, as long as I can absorb the Nirvana World Qing Lotus, nothing else matters. He suddenly stopped and did not move forward. Because in front of him was a very familiar figure, along with a low, gentle greeting, you've arrived? Jiang Yang broke out in a cold sweat upon seeing this and said, how are you still alive? How could you be here? Gu Chang'e still didn't turn around but smiled calmly, didn't you personally let me in? Ha ha ha. After speaking, he turned around, his gaze familiar, with a smile at the corner of his mouth. Jiang Yang, ah no, I should call you the human ancestor, right? Jiang Yang trembled in shock from Gu Chang'e's question, how do you know my identity? You're not an ordinary upper realm cultivator, so who exactly are you? Gu Chang'e simply smiled and said, oh. Aren't you the one who prides yourself on planning for thousands of miles, with no mistakes? Can't even figure out who I am. But that's not important, because now that you've entered here, you're destined to die. Gu Chang'e looked at Jiang Yang and continued speaking. You've stolen so many points of luck, yet you still don't get it. Looks like it's going to take some effort. He cursed inwardly, damn, how come this reincarnation has so many variables? I don't have any trump cards left. Seeing this, Gu Chang'e smiled proudly, however, I've always been a person who values martial ethics. Since you're the reincarnation of the human ancestor, I'll let you say a few final words. Jiang Yang gritted his teeth and said, he has a taboo, it seems there's still hope. He continued, final words. Since you know I'm the human ancestor, then you should also know. You can't kill me, because I've reincarnated countless times, and I will return every time. If you don't want to regret it in the future, you should. Before he could finish his words, there was a loud slap, and Gu Chang'e directly slapped him across the face. Jiang Yang covered his face and angrily shouted, I am the human ancestor, immortal through the ages. How dare you slap me? Gu Chang'e took something from his storage space and sneered, didn't you want to know my identity? An ancient bottle appeared, and Jiang Yang's pupils contracted, those old guys from the Heaven Staff Holy Land know about this thing. You should know, right? Jiang Yang stared at the bottle and exclaimed in shock, the Great Tao Treasure Bottle. So you are, the successor of the demon art? Gu Chang'e revealed a satisfied smile, that's right. Our identities have already predetermined this outcome. Don't blame me for being heartless. Jiang Yang then understood, from the very beginning, your target was me. You're not an immortal who just passed through the lower realm. You've been scheming all along, everything was part of your plan. But how did you know my identity? Did someone from the human ancestor temple betray me? At this moment, a prompt appeared, the child of luck, Jiang Yang, has collapsed mentally, and a large amount of luck is lost. Gu Chang'e casually threw the treasure bottle behind him and said indifferently, no, it's fate. Because of a foolish woman. Is that all you want to say? After reincarnating so many times, you still have this kind of mentality? After speaking, Gu Chang'e suddenly approached and whispered in Jiang Yang's ear, you disappoint me too much. His gaze was sharp, exuding the demeanor of a victor. At this moment, Jiang Yang could only stutter. Why is the successor of the demon art in this life so strong? I've been trampled on every lifetime. As soon as the words were spoken, Gu Chang'e slammed his knee into Jiang Yang's abdomen. Then, Gu Chang'e grabbed his collar. He slammed Jiang Yang violently into the ground. Then he directly threw Jiang Yang over 10 meters away. At this moment, Jiang Yang could only stand in place, silently enduring. Gu Chang'e stepped on Jiang Yang, sneering, is this all you have for final words? After saying your final words, it's time to go. Jiang Yang gritted his teeth and answered, no wonder no one came to save me. It seems that the descendant of the human ancestor temple in this generation has already fallen into your hands. Gu Chang'e listened and coldly waved his hand, opening the space that imprisoned the saintess. Are you talking about her? At this moment, a saintess, covered only by tattered rags, was brought out. Before she could understand the situation, Gu Chang'e directly said, meet the human ancestor you wanted to see the most. This will be your first and last meeting. The saintess was horrified, Gu Chang'e, what are you talking about? He is the reincarnation of the human ancestor. Gu Chang'e continued stepping on Jiang Yang, calmly saying, he is your faith. Aren't you going to save him? The saintess was shocked, unable to believe, impossible. How could the human ancestor be him? Jiang Yang, lying on the ground, burned with rage, you are the saintess of the human ancestor temple. Very well. Then, Jiang Yang's body erupted in a dazzling light. Gu Chang'e sensed something was wrong. Suddenly, a terrifying explosion swept through the area, and debris flew everywhere. Gu Chang'e was slightly startled and quickly stepped back. On the other side, Jiang Yang had already flashed behind the saintess, grabbing her by the neck, and coldly laughed, I have no other choice now, but right now, ha ha ha, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Gu Chang'e simply chuckled, oh. Don't tell me you want to use her to threaten me. Jiang Yang continued to grip the saintess's neck tightly, I'm not that naive. As the descendant of the human ancestor temple, now is the time for her to fulfill her mission, sacrificing her life to summon the human ancestor temple. The saintess, hearing this, was filled with pain and unable to speak. Jiang Yang continued, even now, if you don't die, you'll be crippled, Gu Chang'e, right? Now, we can say it's a tie. Gu Chang'e, upon hearing this, said indifferently, oh. Is that so? A system prompt appeared, luck struggle, negative value. Then suddenly, Jiang Yang still didn't understand what had happened, his face full of confusion, like a dazed little deer. In an instant, intense purple light appeared around the saintess's body, forcing Jiang Yang back. Jiang Yang immediately broke into a cold sweat, thinking, is this a trap to control the living saintess? How did they know the secret of sealing the Tao ancestor? What's with that murderous gaze? It seems like every move I make is already calculated by him. On this side, Gu Chang'e wore a satisfied smile, thinking, is the gap really this big? Jiang Yang fell to the ground, and many hands reached out from all around to pull him down. The saintess had also fainted, with only faint murmurs remaining beside her. No. No. It's his. A system prompt popped up, successfully killed the son of fate, reincarnation of the human ancestor, fate law has been cleared, obtained, Zen Dao treasure mirror. On this side, the saintess sat limply on the ground, saying with great sorrow, you killed the human ancestor. Gu Chang'e, while operating the interface, calmly said, he's already dead. Should I wait for him to come and kill me? Gu Chang'e didn't care about the saintess's reaction and continued to check his rewards. Reincarnation seal. 2 reincarnation seals in hand, I've got another one. The system prompt rang, congratulations to the host for obtaining, reincarnation ancestor seal. Congratulations to the host for obtaining, fate axis. Congratulations to the host for obtaining, guiding Tao fruit. Gu Chang'e secretly pondered, guiding Tao fruit. This seems to be the martial endowment of the human ancestor, involving the soul. It can replicate his cultivation and primordial spirit. While it can't ensure success, it's already terrifying. And, fate axis, can temporarily raise my black fate to purple. Combined with, guiding Tao fruit, it's simply a divine weapon for setting traps. While pondering and calculating, the saintess suddenly said, just kill me. Now that the human ancestor is dead, my existence is meaningless. Gu Chang'e, seeing this, calmly said, what? Are you addicted to being a tool? Don't even need a reason to live anymore. Gu Chang'e walked closer and gently stroked the saintess's cheek, it's okay. Then let me help you. The saintess looked at Gu Chang'e with pleading eyes, help me. Gu Chang'e laughed and said, actually, all beings in heaven and earth need a faith, not the so-called human ancestor. Now, besides you and me, who else knows he's already dead? As for the human ancestor temple, behind you, there's no need to worry. With my methods, they won't even notice. The saintess, upon hearing this, shouted angrily, doesn't that mean I'm betraying my sect? The human ancestor is irreplaceable. How can anyone impersonate him? Gu Chang'e replied, of course there's a difference. You say you treat the human ancestor temple as your sect and the human ancestor as your faith, but they only see you as a backup plan for the human ancestor temple. Is that worth it? They will discard you once they've used you. Since they are heartless, don't blame you for being unfaithful. The saintess lowered her head, her eyes full of sorrow, this is my fate. I can't betray the human ancestor temple. You should just kill me. Gu Chang'e suddenly picked her up, terrifying her. I don't think you've figured out your situation yet. Your life is mine now. Want to die? It's not that easy. Gu Chang'e's face showed a dangerous smile as he carried her into the space-time vortex. Behind him, the saintess's scream echoed, shameless. What do you want to do to me? The scene shifted, and on the other side, an elder seemed to sense something. She said with joy on her face, finally done. Did Jiang Yang succeed? But just a second later, her face turned pale because she saw Gu Chang'e's figure slowly appear. No. That's. She stammered, please spare my life, immortal. But a wave passed by her side, and she immediately logged out. Su Chang'e coldly said, it's a pity you chose the wrong civilization. The saintess in the sky silently observed everything. Jiang Yang's aura truly disappeared. What exactly happened? The lotus seed of the Nirvana lotus, how could such a good thing be lost? Why does it feel like they were deliberately waiting for me here? Then she suddenly realized there was a powerful aura around her. Ming didn't expect this aura. But how did he find it, and every time he's one step ahead of me? She looked into the distance, disappointed, why can't I see him even once? The elders over here were also discussing, should we go over and help? Otherwise, those two old ones won't be able to hold on.